make the tiny wings.
Ah, there she is, Sarah. Well, now, don't keep her waiting, and enjoy your week off. You've earned it.
Thanks, Harry. And thanks for the cottage.
Think nothing of it. This has been a very successful trip. You're a good lawyer.
So are you. See you.
Taxi!
Oh, it's good to have you back.
You make a wonderful chauffeur.
Certainly. Where to, sir?
Well, back to the flat for a quick change of clothes. And straight down to the West Country and Harry's cottage. Should be there by supper time.
You know, we'll never make it to the cottage by supper time. We should have left earlier.
Well, doesn't seem quite so urgent now, does it?
You're making me blush.
You've nothing to be modest about, Mrs. Martin. Well, only another hour.
Couldn't Harry have bought a cottage closer to civilization?
Don't be so ungrateful. Anyway, for a honeymoon, even a delayed one like this, who needs civilization? Actually, it's quite near to the village, I believe. Beautiful wild garden. Harry says it even has its very own magpie. It's quite tame.
When you get this partnership, Tom, will you be able to be with me more?
I hope so. It's funny.
What?
I've taken my foot off the gas pedal, but we're still accelerating. Damn!
Tom!
It's bloody jammed! Cross your arms over your face. You're right. Come on, let's get out.
Oh, Tom, for goodness sake. God's sake.
Because you didn't believe in God. Well, here we are in the middle of nowhere.
I'll have to thumb a lift.
Well, how many cars have you seen in the past hour?
Phone. Phone for help.
A phone? Where phone?
You know, it's really peaceful here. I think part of me kind of expected to be here. Wind up here.
Come on. We could always sleep under the stars, like the raggle-taggle gypsies.
Look, there's a gate.
It doesn't look very promising.
It's worth a look. Come on.
It's just a path through the woods. I think we should stick to the road.
Follow me.
Well, now, what have we here? Code.
Hasn't it gone quiet?
Listen. I can hear children.
Children?
Listen.
Yes.
Come on. I can't hear any children now. Maybe we imagined it.
Do you think they got a phone?
I don't even know if anyone lives here.
This must be the back of the house. Well, the proper way in must be round the other side. There's probably a main road a few yards away.
And hopefully a garage. Good evening. Our car's broken down, and I wondered if we could...
Use the telephone. Oh, of course, of course. Come in, my dears. Come in. My goodness, what a nuisance for you.
Is there a road on the other side of the house?
A road, dear?
Yes, well, I mean, I'm sure we must have come a long way round.
Bless you, dear. There's no other road round these parts. Come along, follow me. There's not a garage nearby. The nearest town is Applegrove, and that's 23 miles away.
Still, they probably have an emergency service.
Well, there's the phone, and you're welcome to use it. You do look chilled, dear. Why don't you come with me into the parlor? I'll make you a nice cup of tea or cocoa. Perhaps you prefer a glass of red wine. Come in. My name is Mrs. Ardoy.
My name's Sarah. My husband's name's Tom Martin.
Well, I hope he's lucky with that phone. Sit down by the fire, dear. Dogs won't hurt you. Have a nice glass of wine.
Oh, thank you. It's delicious.
We grow it ourselves. Make it here at the manor.
From your own vines?
Pinot Noir. Mr. Ardoy has the touch. It's difficult to grow in Britain, but Mr. Ardoy can grow anything.
Green fingers.
Oh, no, dear. Mr. Ardoy doesn't have green fingers.
Well, what about car hire? Could you hire me a self-drive car? Tomorrow. No, I'm afraid that's too late. Okay. Thanks. Goodbye.
Carrots, peas. Oh, and lovely fruit, my dear. The most beautiful red apples you've ever seen. We have our own clear spring, too. You must taste the water.
So you're completely self-supporting?
Oh, completely. Yes, yes, quite completely.
I'm vegetarian.
No, the children do like their little bit of meat. Oh, that's them, the little horrors. They must have heard you arrive.
How many?
Hmm?
How many do you have?
About 8. 8 little lovelies.
8's a very large family for these days.
Well, they're not all mine. Oh, some of them are fostered and some are little stepchildren.
Mr. Ardoy has been married before.
Oh, well, you know what it's like around these parts. You look famished. I'm going to make you some soup. Soup and an omelette.
I do hope we didn't wake them up.
Oh, they never go to bed at normal hours. Not our little ones.
Yes, okay, I understand. Yes, thanks. Bye. Hello. And where have you come from?
They're very shy, not used to people.
I haven't had much luck, I'm afraid.
You wouldn't, dear. This is really the back of beyond.
Hello. Come on in, I won't eat you.
He's not having much luck, poor thing. So I've offered you could stay the night.
Oh. Oh, that's really too much trouble.
Always plenty of room, dear. That turret room's always prepared, because sometimes Mr. Ardoy likes to bring a friend home. You know what they're like. Your husband's gone to get your things from the car.
Well, if you're sure you don't mind.
A real pleasure and a privilege. Ah, Eloise, I know you're there. Come along in, and you others. Cheeky little pups.
Hello.
This is Eloise, and Andres, Sophie, and Irania. Children, this is Mrs. Martin.
How do you do?
That's our brother Tibor. Would you like to meet him?
Yes, please, I'd love to.
Well, I'll see to the supper.
Have you had your supper, Eloise?
Yes, it was soup.
Mutton broth?
Of course.
It's getting dark outside.
What's that for? Let me see.
The children are very shy, but they like you, dear.
They're extraordinarily pretty.
Thank you.
Is Tom back?
He's only just gone.
Oh, well, then I'll give him a hand with the luggage.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be all right.
Oh, well, so am I, but I'd like to help him anyway.
Fine. Why don't you take the dogs? They're very obedient.
Well, if you don't mind, I think I'd like to go alone.
They know the woods.
I'll stick to the path. Bar? Eloise?
Back! Run for the house! For God's sake, just run!
What is it, Tom? What's wrong?
Hurry! Don't look back!
What's wrong? What is it? What happened?
There's something awful out there. There's something terrible in your woods.
Whatever has happened?
Well, I was on my way back to the car, but just as I got near the road...
Yes, what was it?
Well, maybe I'm going mad, but there was this strange thing, this creature. I'd never seen anything like it. It looked half human.
Half human, dear? Oh, surely not. I mean, either human or not human, don't you think?
It was covered in grey, spiky fur. Its hind legs, but its eyes. If I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't have believed it. What in God's name was it?
A stag.
No, not a stag.
Deer abound in these woods, Mr. Martin, and wild sheep that have strayed over the years. But I think it was a stag. Give you a nasty turn in the twilight, too.
It bit me. Or tried to. Snarling and snorting. I'll never forget that sound. And its eyes. Yellow eyes.
Well, it's their season. They get very protective over their territory. A drink, Mr. Martin. You look as though you could do with one.
It was a stag, wasn't it?
Yes.
Mrs. Ardoy has some lovely wine. They make it themselves, you know.
Wonderful soup.
It's mutton. Mutton broth. How do you feel?
All right. Bit of a fool, really. Thank you.
Where's your mum, Sophie? Sophie?
That's my mum in a photograph.
She's pretty.
She was pretty. Have you finished?
Yes, thank you. My goodness, that looks good. It was a stag, wasn't it?
Oh, no. I'm getting clumsy again.
A wolf? Really, Mr. Martin?
We both heard it.
A dog, perhaps. Dogs?
Abound in the forest?
Well, no, not really. They're frightened of my beasts. But I'm sure that's what you heard. It's a terrible sound dogs have.
I
It
think I
sounds like-
know a wolf when I hear it. I think anyone would. That sound, it's primeval.
Well, I think you'll be quite safe and comfortable in here. The bathroom is adjoining. Fresh towels. Lovely soft pillows.
It's a nice big bed.
It was our marriage bed, Mr. Ardoy and me. But I don't really see the need for it now, not at my age.
Well, it really is very kind of you.
Yes, and it was a lovely supper.
Beautiful kids.
Well, good night. Oh, there was just one other thing. Silly, really, but I wonder if you'd mind staying here in this room until the morning.
Any special reason?
The children, really. They tend to roam about a bit in the night, and, well, I wouldn't want you to give them a scare. I'm sure you understand. Sleep well.
Give them a scare.
Oh, Tom, what have we landed ourselves in?
Well, maybe it's some sort of loony bin.
Good food.
But that was a wolf.
Oh, come on. It probably was a dog.
You heard it.
Yes. Well, we've had a long day, and that car thing upset us, and, well, you can hystericalize yourself into anything. Let's just have a bath.
And?
I brought these night things for you.
How did you get these?
Tibor and the other children went down to the car to fetch them.
Surely you don't let them go out into the woods alone.
Bless you, dear. There's nothing in them woods that my children need be afraid of.
Well, thank you.
Look, I know it's none of our business, but do they ever sleep?
Certainly they sleep. Why, sometimes as the devil himself couldn't wake them up. But tonight's different. It's a special night.
Special? Why?
We are of Hungarian extraction, us Ardoys, and we celebrate festivals that are different from the English ones. Tonight's a special night in the region that we come from.
Sort of like what? Christmas Eve?
Yes, Mr. Martin. Something like that. Well, good night to you.
It was a funny thing the old bag said before. Stay in your room in case we scare the kids. I mean, they're not frightened to roam about the forest all night.
Unless it's the children who might scare us. It seems a bit out of place here. I wonder who slept here last.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure. But just suppose the creature in the woods was not a stag. Suppose the animal we both heard howling out there was not a dog. And consider what sort of Hungarian ritual causes little children to be afraid of a cheerful fireside hearth
Tom.
and causes them to grow progressively clumsier as daylight fades. And those two dogs, to protect whom? From what?
Oh, let's just change the subject, Tom.
And suppose it's a full moon. What is it? What in God's name's going on here? I'm going to take a look. If I can get down to the ground from here.
No, stay with me.
Look, darling, I'm a lawyer. I'm a logical man. For God's sake, Sarah, I'm not allowing some cranky family in the middle of a Somerset forest to make a fool of us. I'm just going to look around the ground, see what's cooking. I'll only be about 10 minutes.
No, Tom, please stay with me. No, don't go. I've got a horrible feeling. Please stop, close the window. Stay with me.
I think we're both being a bit silly about this. I'll only be a moment.
Take care.
Don't worry.
Who is it? Welcome to Land of Living.
Where?
Shh, it's all right. You're in hospital.
Where?
Apple Grove. The car crashed.
Car. You all right?
Oh, I'm fine. I only had mild concussion. I woke up hours ago.
I fell. I can remember.
Fell? Oh, no. No. The car crashed. They say you wrapped it round a tree.
Ow! What?
You broke your wrist. You know, we were both very lucky.
I'm confused. I can remember the car, but I can't remember the crash. There was a house.
We hit a house?
No. No, there was this house in the woods and a woman.
I think you must still be concussed.
I must have dreamt it. How extraordinary.
Dreamt what?
It's crazy, but there was this family of werewolves.
Oh, Tom.
Only it seems so real.
It must be something the doctor gave you. You know, it's a miracle we're alive.
Then, after a day's observation, we were discharged. Rented a car, and Sarah drove us on down to the cottage.
So you got there in the end?
Oh, yes. Well, thanks, by the way.
But the BMW didn't.
Complete write-off. They brought it into the local garage. All that's left of it. I'm getting a new one next week when I get this off.
Well, I'm glad you're all right. Apart from all that, was the holiday okay? Tom.
Oh, yes, sure. It's fine.
Magpie's still there.
Yes.
What is up, Tom?
It's Sarah, Harry. There's something odd about her. Something strange.
The old ardor has cooled, eh?
Cooled? Oh, no, nothing like that. In fact, she's incredible in bed.
Really?
Oh, just incredible, but I don't know, it's just not the same old Sarah.
You mean she's changed?
Yes.
Well, my dear fellow, I'm not surprised. After a bad car accident, followed by a week alone with you in the country talking about corporate law at breakfast time, well, my dear chap, I mean, that is likely to turn anyone a bit odd.
Harry, did you ever have concussion?
3 years in the parachute regiment, of course I've had concussion. Happened a couple of times, stupid landings, a couple or 3 times.
But did you ever have dreams? Bizarre dreams when you were unconscious?
No, the point of concussion is that you are out cold. No dreams, good God. Why?
Oh, nothing, no reason.
Look, we'd better have a look at this, old boy.
Yes. Perry Newman and Schreiber business.
How are we going to handle it?
Well, old man Perry will be in Connecticut just now. Someone should brief him before the offer comes through from Venezuela. God knows they pay enough for our advice.
Someone from the Boston office?
No. No, I'll go myself. Concord tomorrow, then fly up to Maine in the Beechcraft.
That's my boy. For a time, I was afraid you were going to lose the magic touch.
You're not mad at me.
Why would I be?
Well, I could be gone for 3 or 4 weeks.
Super. Have a lovely time. Tell me something.
Of course.
Have you ever had that dream again?
No? Why?
I just wondered. It seemed to get to you.
Well, it did. You had a nightmare about a werewolf. A bloody family of them.
You really are silly.
Listen, I'll make the coffee.
What's the matter? Don't you fancy me anymore?
Oh, you know I do.
But?
Well, it's just that
Go on.
you used to be more tender about it.
Well, maybe you've never stayed around long enough to find out what I'm really like.
Oh, come on.
And my cooking. You used to love my cooking.
I still do. You're a marvelous cook. Listen, Sarah, I'm sorry.
You hardly ate a thing tonight.
Well, it's just that,
Yes?
no, nothing.
Go on, say it.
Look, darling, I love steak, but every night? You used to be such an imaginative cook.
Poor Tom. When you come back, I'll make something really nice for you.
Let's go to bed.
Here.
Hmm?
Here. Do it here. You're looking well.
You look pretty well yourself.
Do I?
Actually, you look extremely well.
Would you say radiant?
Radiant? But you're pregnant? Well, how long? When? I mean...
8 weeks.
Oh, that's fantastic. Tonight we celebrate.
Oh, couldn't we just stay in? I've cooked you a lovely meal.
All right. I'll get some pink champagne. What's for dinner?
First, some mutton broth.
If it's a boy, we'll call him... what?
Mark. I rather like Mark.
Mark. I like Andrew.
Mark Andrew?
Mm-hmm. Sounds a bit like Mark Anthony. Also, Mark Martin. Doesn't sound right.
Toby.
Toby Martin. Toby Martin. This fish is good. Why aren't you eating it? The salmon. What are you having?
Thin, raw strips of fillet, darling. It's delicious.
How about T-ball?
It's a strange name.
T-ball? Have you never heard it before?
Maybe.
T-ball. Mrs. Ardoy's child. One of the 8, Sarah.
Who's Mrs. Ardoy? When she's at home.
What are you doing?
Just getting a few things ready for when I go to have the baby.
Nothing like being prepared, eh?
Tom,
Yes, my love?
I don't think it's a very good idea for us to make love anymore.
Why? What's wrong?
Just till the baby.
For God's sake, Sarah, you're only 2 months pregnant.
This baby is very important to me, Tom.
Well, to me, too. Strangely enough.
Good. That's settled then.
And it's been like that for weeks now. Ever since I got back from the States that last time.
Oh, poor old Tom. Well, you know, Lucy, the new temp.
No. That's not the problem. See, Sarah's changed so much, Harry. She's hardly the same person. She's gone a bit odd, remote. She's even got a bag packed and is months before her time.
What does the quack say?
Oh, he says she's fit as a fiddle. The perfect childbearing unit is how he romantically describes her. But the fetus is growing at one hell of a rate. Faster than he's ever known.
And the nookie problem?
Oh, I didn't mention it.
Oh, perhaps you should.
Look, Harry, Sarah's a private person. She doesn't need to. She doesn't want to.
And she doesn't want to?
It all started after that bloody car crash.
You had a recurring nightmare, didn't you? What was that?
You'd laugh.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. But you've probably forgotten all about it. I mean, that's the way of dreams, isn't it? They're as clear as anything in the morning, and then tea, 2 boiled eggs, and bingo, you can't remember a damn thing about it.
Wrong. I can remember every detail. Every second of every minute. 1600.
Tom, old man, about this South African shipping contract.
Harry, can I ring you back?
Of course. Anything wrong?
Well, Sarah, I think she's left.
Where for?
I think I know. I think I've always known.
Tom.
The time is near.
Yes.
The others will finish this.
Couldn't have left it much later, could we, dear?
Wasn't sure if I dreamt it.
Welcome home, dear. And now we must hurry. There's not much light left. Contractions nice and regular. Lovely. Now you take your clothes off. There's a clever girl.
You know, it's really peaceful here.
I think part of me kind of expected to be here.
Fine evening.
Yes.
Be dark soon enough. Rain too, like as not. Are you lost, friend?
Well, I'm looking for the entrance to an old track near here.
A track, friend?
Well, actually, I'm looking for a big house. There's an overgrown track that leads up to it from the road.
No. There's no tracks for miles either side here.
The woman who lives there is called Ardoy.
Ardoy?
With hordes of children. It's a funny setup, really.
You've passed the spot, friend. Or maybe it's further on. This road stretches for miles before Apple Grove.
It is around here. I know it. You see, I think my wife's gone there.
There's no tracks, no house. Why, you're welcome to walk a ways with me. Look for yourself.
Right. I'll do that.
There, dear. Not much longer now. Something troubling you, dear?
I'm frightened.
Only a few more minutes. It'll be all over.
Do you see anything familiar?
Well, one tree looks very much like another.
Oh, don't you believe that, my friend? Every tree's known to me. You know that in nature, no two creations are exactly alike.
You must know a few legends about these parts.
Legends? What sort of legends?
Well, witches, that sort of thing.
Witches? You'll not find witches in this part of the forest.
How about werewolves?
Werewolves?
Legends. Any legends about werewolves?
No. Nothing like that. Nothing I've ever heard of. Why, you won't find werewolf legends this side of Hadmezovashorali.
Where's that?
It's a province of Hungary.
Tell me one thing, woodsman.
Yes.
Just suppose there was a werewolf in these parts.
I'd try.
Why should he want to lure young women into the forest? Mate with them, rear their children with a foster mother like Mrs. Ardoy, of whom, naturally, you have never heard.
Wolves, friend. They live in packs, wolves do. And each pack has its leader. And the leader has many mates and many cubs. Now, a werewolf, not that I would know, but surely it would be natural for a werewolf, if such a legendary creature existed, to have the same instincts.
Wolf-like.
Vulpine.
But Mrs. Ardoy, the foster mother, those beautiful children.
Beautiful children when it's light. But when daylight has finally fled the forest, it's time for the wolf in them to scamper among the trees.
Kill an occasional wild sheep.
Oh, they do like their mutton broth.
But Tibor, the flute, that house.
In the day, do not werewolves take on their human form? Surely any father would want his cubs to have a cheerful foster mother and a comfortable house, learn the graces which their human side needs for their happiness. Why, if you ask me, this particular werewolf sounds quite civilized.
The mothers. Where were the mothers? I remember you now. Please, if anything happens to Sarah,
He's going to be a fine, fine fellow. Just like his dad.
Oh!